This is the Gen X Taste Podcast. I'm Lynn Chen.
And I'm Christy Myers, and welcome to our seasonal show about nostalgia and novelty, an exploration of embracing the evolution.
All right, it's our summer 2024 episode. We have not spoken on this format. I mean, we have spoken many times since the last time we recorded, but via this format. I'm going to just point the mic closer to me. Does that sound a little bit better? Should we start over? Should I re-record the opening?
Sure.
Nah, it's fine.
No?
It's fine. No. Right. Because it just goes along with this, what my catch-up would be. We haven't done a podcast since spring.
It was, I think it was March. We didn't talk about spring break or any of that.
That's right. I feel like I'm so sick of myself, Christy. That's my catch-up. I feel so tired of myself, which is to say, like, I just feel like I'm always like, I guess because I'm always creating, I'm always like doing something. I'm always writing. I'm always putting myself out there. I've been applying to pretty much every writing, directing program there is right now, which is very like self-reflective. I like talking about myself in the third person and just feeling like really tired of myself and in turn feeling like everyone else must be really tired of me too. And so I don't like want to see people. I wouldn't say it's like full on depression, but it's like a low grade depression of just like, I want to hide from the world. I want to like just be quiet by myself. And I don't know. I think I was talking about this recently with someone where I said, like, I think when you're younger and things in life come up, like real world problems and stuff, they're kind of, you're shielded from you a bit, you don't have to like think about the real meaning of it all or actually even decide what to do with these problems. It's just sort of in your universe, but you still, get fed, you still have the home above your head, like all those things. You don't think about
somebody else's problem to handle.
It's someone else's problem, that you like. And so therefore, like, I don't know, I feel like there's more room to process these things, whereas I just feel like nobody other than like a shrink, which I don't see anymore, and that might be the problem, but like other than a shrink, there's like really nobody other than my husband to tell the day-to-day of these things to. And so I feel like it just lives in my head a lot. And I'm just like sitting there like processing, reprocessing. And then I just get really, I just feel like so sick of myself. I'm just like, then it makes me not like want to talk, share, do anything because I'm tired of like the sound of my own voice. I'm tired of looking at myself. I'm tired of thinking about myself.
Yeah. Yeah. I think also the kind of work you've been doing too, that kind of writing and reflective work is you're in your head thinking about yourself a lot, thinking about creative process a lot, going through all this stuff. And then when you meet with somebody else and you talk about it, then you're in your head recounting everything and it's like kind of the same thing. So it feels like it's happening all the time, and it gets to be a lot instead of an escape where sometimes.
Exactly. Yeah. And and part of the reason why I was like, let's not re-record this opening is because I almost feel like this podcast with you is like probably like, even though I have like a whole Substack, like that's still like thought about, that's still like intentional, but like this, the pure reason for doing it is to connect with you. I mean, like that's the basis of all of it,
Yeah, absolutely.
And so like the why of it becomes so clear and sort of everything else just drops away. Like re-edit, why?
Yeah.
That's not part of my why, and there's something so playful and young and why did I say young? Playful and not in my 40s about it. It just feels very innocent. Like I don't know.
It feels
like
very honest. It feels really honest. It doesn't feel polished.
And it feels like exactly. And I feel like everything needs to like be on a schedule. It needs to be polished. It needs to like have intention. It needs to like, if it's going to be out there in the world, it needs to be for a purpose. And I don't know. I think lately I've just been thinking about like the noise out there in this fake metaverse, you know, like that if you like literally just take it off your phone, it's gone.
Yeah.
Like it's not there.
Yeah.
And it's not there, but then, you know, it is. So those are the things I've been processing, I think, as of the last few days, last few weeks. And this is all to say, this is why I curled my hair today, Christy.
It looks very good.
Because I was tired. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I was tired of looking at my non-curled hair. Like, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna see Christy today. I'm gonna see her. I'm gonna curl my hair.
I washed my hair for you. I didn't curl it though.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for doing that.
It's just for you.
I'm hoping by the time we reconnect in September or whatever, fall, publicly like this, that I will feel differently. But I understand it's the ebbs and flows of the seasons, right? Also, I'm very frustrated that we're in June and it's not sunny and warm.
Yeah.
In LA.
I think
I'm very angry.
I know. I agree. I thought about that last night. We went on just a short little family bike ride after dinner, and I was in a jacket and I was still cold on my bike. And I was like, it's June. This is ridiculous.
I've had enough. I bought clothes for this. Yeah, I know. We're going to be like, why is it still hot?
It's still so hot. It should be fall.
It's fall. Where's the pumpkin spice latte?
I do want to say though, I get what you're saying, and I think also, you know, right now the work that you're doing too is you're having kind of a one-sided conversation. You know what I mean? You're putting all these things out there, these really creative and reflective things out there, but you're not getting the response back. And so you're having the conversation in your head over and over again. You're not having the benefit of having the two-sided conversation where somebody comes back with something that changes the thoughts in your head and you know what I mean, like moves it a little bit. And so then you get stuck on kind of this loop, and I get that, and it gets really tiring, and it's hard because right now, especially I think it does have to do with our age, and also all the things going on and living far apart and coming out of the pandemic and, you know, all this kind of stuff. But then when you catch up with friends, you have to catch them up because you're not seeing them every day. So then you're back in that kind of like, let me give you this conversation. So it's crazy making. It really is crazy making. And, you know, you're just in that production time, you know, where you're producing, putting it out there. And you just haven't gotten to the point where then people come back, you know?
Yeah.
And then it changes.
I also don't have distractions like children.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And other people's lives to be thinking about in that way.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, it feels very self-indulgent, very like navel-gazy, you know?
Yeah. But I will say from the outside, I am not sick of you. I'm not sick of hearing about you.
Thank you.
And so I just think it's you that's tired of you, but that is not something that the outside world has shared. So I just want to give you that perspective. We are not sick of you.
Thank you, Christy.
Quite the opposite.
How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. I have a little bit of what you're talking about too. The last couple of weeks in particular, feeling just a little bit of I think. Just a little bit of just a little bit down, a little bit kind of worn out, a little bit kind of chasing my tail, feeling that, you know, which is one of the reasons I was so excited to get on our podcast today and talk to you. But yeah, otherwise I'm doing okay. I'm doing all right. Our business being what it is right now is throwing me a little bit, like in terms of
the entertainment industry being not great. I mean, that's an understatement. It's the worst it's ever been in our decades of being in this industry.
Yeah.
It's not good. It's really not good.
Yeah. And I certainly hear what you're saying in terms of, you know, we came out when we first started working, really within the first couple of years, there was a strike and then there was a recession, and like it's not always been roses here, but as at this age, I feel like you do think, oh wait, I'm the person that deals with this problem. Oh, that's me. There isn't like some person who deals with this problem. That's us now. That's me.
Yeah,
in many
totally.
areas, right? If we want something changed, we are the people, the age now, and everyone is the age that can do it. But for some reason, in the last like 5 years, it's felt more like, I am the person that needs to make some change, which is good and also daunting, especially at a time when so much feels uncertain. And I wonder if everybody feels this way in their journey. Because I think like my parents, when they were in their 40s, the things that were going on, or when they were in their 20s, like I think every, generation has some form of this where you just get a little bit overwhelmed by things, right? By all the things going on in the world, and feel some responsibility towards those, and then also feel responsibility towards your own life and your own family and what you want to create. So that's been going on in my mind constantly. And then I do have the other side, which is a lot of distraction, trying to just make the day function and get things through. And the end of the school year's coming this week and the start of the summer, and organizing all that, has been, it's fun. And also, and also more on top of there. But to answer your question in a longer way, I've been okay. Since the last time we talked, I got to do an episode on Station 19. I got to shoot a Walmart video. I've been working on some more stuff for nutrition that I had kind of put aside for a while. And now I'm excited to kind of come back to it. So I'm doing that. And then planning, we're going back to see our family this summer. So planning that, getting that ready to go. That's
a busy time.
Doing. It's busy. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's busy.
It's busy. And I was so happy that you booked both of those jobs, because I always feel like it's like a little booster shot.
Yeah.
to last you through the months.
Oh yeah, totally. And it had been a long time, since I had been on set like that. And it was just an amazing, lovely experience. The people on Station 19 set, everyone was just awesome. And it was a great
when does that
one
air?
to do. It already aired.
Why didn't you tell me? Why don't you text me these things?
I don't.
What?
I have
Hulu now. I have Hulu now. I can watch. Which episode?
Yeah, you can watch. It's episode 9. So it's the one before the season
episode
finale.
9. Okay.
And I didn't.
Okay, great. That's
know why I didn't share it, Lynn. I don't know why.
Yeah, why didn't you share it?
I don't know.
Well, even if you shared it on social, I probably wouldn't have seen it anyway, since I'm never on there ingesting anyone else's content anymore. I find it to be very upsetting sometimes. So I don't do that, but I could have used a text.
I know. I'm not sure what my deal was, although I did have a little bit. I will tell you, I had a little bit of depression afterwards, after I watched it, and
Why?
I liked it. Watching yourself, I find watching myself difficult. Not everybody does. Sometimes I find watching myself difficult, but I didn't. It was good, and watching the episode was really fun. But I think I couldn't quite figure out what I was depressed about, and I think what it was is that then that was over. Do you know what I mean? Like when you're working on a project where it's ongoing, and then you watch an episode and you're like, oh, okay, great. That was that episode, but I still have a couple more episodes to go. I still it becomes a little, I guess, less precious, or less like you can just enjoy it for what it is when that's what you've got, right? That's what you have. Then when that episode is over, you have a little moment of like, okay, that's over now, And so I had that moment where I was just like, oh, that's it. That's all for that job. That job is over. And right now I don't have something like in line for the next one. So I had a little bit of depression in that way. I guess a little longing would be a more active way of looking at it, because then it, when you enjoy doing something, when you enjoy acting, and then that opportunity in and of itself is over, there's a little moment afterwards that is a little sad, So I did have that.
Yeah.
And I think maybe in retrospect, that may be why I didn't share it, because I just was kind of keeping it a little bit personal, a little bit like this was my experience. But yeah, I didn't, but I should have. And it's episode 9, season 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this is the announcement, the official announcement
that it happened. So
that it happened, and it can be seen.
It can be seen.
And we're very excited.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, great.
And it was a lovely set. Yeah. So that was great. And I did not get to see, my mom was asking me last night. I told my mom and my dad, and they were asking me last night. Mom was asking me if I was in the scenes with all the fires. I did not. I only shot on the studio lot. They shot all the fire stuff separately up at Disney Ranch. Have you ever been up to Disney Ranch?
No.
I had never been up either.
Great.
Yeah.
Any Disney anything, I'll take it.
But it's not what you think. It's not Lynn Disney. It's like
Mickey's not handing out fun fire hoses.
I wish that like you came in and they handed you like the ears. And no, it's just a bunch of acres up near Santa Clarita that they use for filming. And I didn't get to go for Station 19, but when I shot the commercial that I shot, we did film some up there.
How ironic.
I know.
That it was like the same. Yeah.
But it's really cool. It's Disney Ranch is really cool. It's just like acres of open land. But then, in this corner, there's like what looks like a little residential area. And in this, it's kind of like being on.
Oh, it's like a
lot, but like a nature lot.
A lot. Yeah.
Yeah. So
cool.
Yeah. It was cool. It was really fun.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
And as you know, other people can't see, but I'm wearing my Disney.
You are
right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
So now that I've said it, I'm sure the next thing you book will be up there, and then you'll be able to see it. Apparently, it's different for everyone's experience when they're there.
Well, I was just saying, like, I'm picturing the type of thing that would take place in the outdoors, and I'm like, is this my ideal situation? Considering I don't like being outdoors.
Maybe in the residential area.
Being on a soundstage. I love a nice climate-controlled green room.
Yeah. Yes,
I like all of that.
All the
I really
RV
appreciate it. I love a toilet where the plumbing is in the ground. I love it.
Oh, you'll appreciate this. So when I was shooting Station 19 too, I was if I was I was a victim of wildfire. And so when they did my hair and makeup, you'll see in the episode, I have, schmutz all over my face, like all over my body that took like dirt and ash and like covered my body in it. And so we went on lunch break and, I just changed out of the top part of it, put a little thing over it. And I was like, I had already eaten my lunch. And so I was like, I'll go take a walk around the set. And I was just, enjoying being on the set, walking all over the lot. Like walking over the lot, and you don't have perspective of what you look like, right? So I was walking all around the lot, and I'm smiling at people, and I'm like, just enjoying myself. And I see one of the other cast members just covered, but I didn't know. I was like, what? And people are kind of like interesting, giving me interesting looks. And I see Jason George, who plays one of the main characters, crosses my path in this super awesome, like fireman's outfit. And he just looks so badass and cool. And I'm like, yeah, I look like that guy. That's what we're actors on this thing. And then I get back to my trailer and I look in the mirror and I realize the people were probably looking at me like, is she an actor or did she just wander in off the street? Like, what? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
What's happening. I was just covered. It was very funny.
Oh
it was
my god.
Quite a humbling moment.
Yeah,
I was like,
exactly.
Never mind.
Did she just come in from like the surrounding areas?
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Was she?
Oh my god. That reminds me of like Law and Order SVU. They wouldn't let me leave the set because I looked like I had been battered.
Oh, right.
Like for lunch, I remember it was a walk-off and they were like, not you, you're going nowhere.
The real police pick you up and be like, what happened?
Yeah, because then I'd probably get like taken in and questioned or something.
They're like, you can tell us the truth. You're like, no, I'm seriously an actor. Right. But was it a bad
Look,
set?
doesn't hurt.
It wipes off. But don't wipe it off because I've got to go back to set.
Yeah, exactly. I can't, this continuity. We can't
Yeah,
mess with
exactly.
it. Well,
But yeah.
I'm gonna switch over to our topic this
Ooh, I'm
month
excited.
to
Okay.
keep us on rolling, the ball rolling, because we
Mhm.
have other things to talk about past the topic,
Okay. Yeah.
mainly to keep people excited. We did watch Wild Hearts Can't Be Broken, the movie that we said we
Not
were going to
together,
watch.
though.
And
We
so
watched it separately.
no, not together. So that is to come. So stay tuned. But for now, I'm in charge of this month's question,
Yep.
this month's topic. And I was thinking about how it's the end of the year.
Mhm.
And I was thinking about school time. And I was thinking about cleaning out your locker. And I was
Mm.
thinking about how my locker from 7th through 12th grade was always like, it was like my second home.
Mhm.
And I definitely like learned lessons like don't put stickers up because no matter how much you want
get
to,
them
because at the
off.
end of the year you have to take them off because
Yeah.
they're going to charge you, and mom and dad did not like that very much. So like, yeah, I was thinking about what your locker look like. You can just pick one year, like what it might typically have looked like. And if you had a locker today,
Mhm.
as you today,
Mhm.
I don't know where this locker would be. I guess it's our car, but like
Yeah,
this
it is
little
kind of our
this
car.
little compartment,
Yeah.
a little compartment where it's like just the stuff you need. What would be in there today, and what would it look like? So
Oh,
back then, and then today.
today. This is a great question. Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
So
I did think long and hard about it, so I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
this is really good. Okay. So my locker morphed from middle school to high school. So middle school, our school was very weird. It was like one of those, like, it was a very old building, but then buildings had been added on. And for some reason, there were like half floors. Do you know what I mean? So you had to walk halfway and then across and then down into another part of the building. Like the connectors were really weird. And our lockers were in these little like half floors, right? So it was definitely a hallway where lots of people were crossing, but you could never get to it easily, especially for some reason, sixth graders could never. So my middle school went from 6th to 8th grade. And I do remember in the summer for both 6th grade and 9th grade going to the school, because we lived next door to the schools that I went to. Like it was all on like the same street, and we lived in a neighborhood next door. So I, as soon as I got my locker combination, went to the school and practiced my schedule and my locker combination so I could see if I could make it in the time.
You are
I
hilarious.
was a little
You
bit of
practiced.
a nerd, and just a little bit. And so I didn't go to my locker in 6th grade very often because I couldn't make it there and then to my classrooms in time. So my locker in 6th grade, I feel like I definitely had a mirror. There's definitely a mirror in there, like one of those magnetic mirrors. And then books, but none of the personalization. That all happened in high school. I feel like then in high school, my locker, I would get to school super early. I would get there at, like, our school started early. It started at 7:27 was our bell. 7:27.
Wow.
And so I would get to school at 6:45. I don't know why.
Oh.
And I would go to my locker and hang out by my locker and like just prepare my day with my my books and the order that I needed them in, and the all of my notepads and everything. And I did have in the locker, I had pictures of my friends and whoever I was currently dating, and sometimes like little notes.
I'm like titillated. Oh my gosh.
And so all that would be up, and I would like hang out by my locker with the door open And I don't know what I would do, like sit there and read. Sometimes people would meet me there early. Like I'd have a friend who would be like, hey, I'll meet you at school early. And we'd meet at the lockers at like 6:50. And then we'd have like 20 minutes to hang out and talk before we had to close the door and go to somebody else's locker and pick them up before class.
Yeah, you go from locker to come to my locker.
That's right.
Come to my locker. Hang out at my locker.
At 7:17 so we can make it to school or make it to our class on time. Pick me up at
Exactly.
my locker.
Oh,
it's on your way. Yeah. And we also shared lockers.
Oh my God.
Did you guys do that? Like if we had lockers, so
Oh yeah.
you
I
would
mean,
share-
unofficially.
Yeah, exactly. So like you would put
depending on like which
locker-
class.
Exactly. So
It's
I
close
did have books
to that
in other
class,
people's
yes.
lockers. Yeah. And then if you had homework and your book was in the other person's locker, then you had to somehow find them during the day without cell phones or texting. Like knowing their schedule, you had to go meet them at their class so you could go by their locker and pick up your book.
Why didn't you get their combo?
Yeah. Later, I did.
Yeah, I had other people's combo.
I realized
That's how you solve that problem.
When it comes to problem solving, I get there eventually. I get there. Yeah. So yeah, there was a lot. There was that. I do remember. So when I took the, do you remember decorating lockers? How that was like a big thing?
Yeah, I was just wondering if you like decorated lockers for birthdays or
Yeah.
pep rallies or whatever.
We did all the time. And we decorated for birthdays. Like the big thing was like to decorate your friend's locker for their birthday, but don't let them know and like covertly get their combination if you didn't already had it, and decorate their locker.
You could use it to decorate their locker, but not to get your homework.
That's right. Listen, I have your combo, but can I meet you? So we would decorate everyone's lockers. So my birthday's in August, and in Indiana, you have to wait a month and a day to get your driver's license from after your birthday. So you have to be 16 years, 1 month and a day. Okay.
Okay.
So my birthday's in August. So
yeah. What kind of DMV freaking rules are these? Wow.
They just made it up. They were just like, I don't know. This seems right.
1 month and a day and a day.
To make sure you're really 16, you have to really be sure.
Exactly.
So in September, I went to the DMV to get my driver's license, and I'm the youngest. I was the youngest in my grade. And so all of my other friends had their driver's license, right? So I was super excited to get my driver's license, and I failed my first test. I failed it.
Christy, I didn't know this about you.
Yeah. Yep, I failed.
The written or the written or the
driving?
The driving.
The driving. It was in the parallel parking part of it.
Yeah, that'll do it every time.
They had me parallel on like in a driveway so that I didn't have the curb as the guide.
Yeah.
I had to do it.
Yeah. You need that curb.
You need the curb. I needed the curb.
You need the curb.
And I went into the driveway, so they failed me. So I was devastated, right? And it was during school. So I came to school late. Everyone knew she has her driver's test first thing in the morning. She's coming to school late and she's going to have her driver's license. So my lovely friends decorated my locker with including this really, I still have it somewhere, but this really amazing sign that looked like a driver's license with a mirror thing on one side. So when I looked in it, it would be my face. But on the other side, it was like Christy's driver's license.
Oh my
blah, blah, blah.
God.
And it was.
They made this or it came?
They made this.
This was common in Indiana. Oh, wow.
No, they made this. I had some crafty friends. They made this. They decorated my whole locker. Like you could see my locker when you come down the hall. It was so decorated. And I was like,
oh my God.
I was like walking up to my locker and like crying because I was already crying, but then I was crying more. And then everybody gets out of class. And of course my friends run to the locker and they're like, you did it. And I'm like, but I didn't. And so they took down the signs and kept them for me.
Well, you could have done what Corey Haim did in License to Drive and went along with it and then gone on the craziest unlicensed night of your life.
That's right.
But
I could have done it.
You're a good girl. You're a good girl,
it was probably
Christy.
like a Tuesday too. So it's not like there's much I could have done in Indiana on a Tuesday. I think I was going to like drive us to the 7-Eleven or something after school, which clearly did not happen. But yeah. That was that's the one thing I remember about my locker.
Well, that's traumatic.
Yeah.
first of all.
Yeah.
But
But also looking back
also,
now, I'm
like,
like, whatever, I've driven, so I'd rather somebody else drive right now. But
it's so interesting what you're saying, because what I'm hearing is that the lockers were like such an extension of like almost like a prop, almost like what our cell phones are to us today,
that's what I
you
was
know?
just
Like
thinking. They were like
they
connection.
belong to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're like where you met socially. They're where they were touch points. They were like, I'll meet you at your locker after lunch.
exactly.
Like if we didn't have cell phones, we didn't and most of us had classes all over the place and had buses right after school or after school activities to go to. So we weren't really in control of our schedules, but we had this one thing that was ours in the whole school, you know? And it
It's
was
also like a mailbox too, you know?
people would slip
Because
notes
people
in.
would leave notes.
Yeah, notes in the little vents, and then you'd get home and like, or get back to your locker and be like, oh my gosh, so and so wrote me a note, left it in my locker.
Yeah, and you would like decorate it like you would decorate a house.
Yeah,
or
totally.
like, wow, it's just damn. Well, if you had a locker today,
I mean,
what would that look like?
I feel like it would be a lot messier than my locker then. I feel like
Really?
I regularly cleaned out my locker. I mean, I was getting there at 6:45, so I had plenty of time. But I regularly cleaned out my locker, and it was like my way of feeling organized. It was having my locker clean. I hated it with my friends who would share the locker, would just like throw their stuff in there. And now it would be probably like so messy. It would probably be like papers that I'm thinking I might read, like piles of things, like probably like Post-it notes hung up that are like little things to remember. Like, oh, I like this quote. Let me put it up so I remember, like in my, like look on the bright side, like those kinds of notes everywhere to remind myself. But a lot more makeup and like stuff like that I feel like, and mirrors and things to check and make sure I don't have anything in my teeth.
Always a mirror.
My little like toothpick would definitely be in there. My reusable toothpick that you told me about.
Oh, right. Of course. Right.
That would be in there. Probably, I feel like as I've gotten older, my temperature has changed and I'm always cold during the day. So I'd probably have several jackets in there.
Oh, I thought you were going to have a thermometer.
No, not a thermometer.
So I'd have a thermometer,
a little space heater that pops out and heats me as I'm. I would probably have snacks, so many snacks, because I never had snacks in my locker. We weren't allowed to have food in our locker, besides that stayed overnight because mice and everything.
Right.
So did anyone had mice in their locker? I feel like I did know people with mice.
I don't think that's something that people would share. I feel like they would have kept that to themselves. You could get banned you could be a social leper for forever if that got out. I don't think I heard about that happening, but there were definitely some lockers that were like everyone knew were like really funky.
Yeah.
I feel like I even saw people like make stuff in shop class and like put like bookshelves inside their lockers.
Yeah.
They hacked the system and they figured
now
out
they
like
make,
a way to make it.
My older son has a locker now for the first year this year. And so we had to go out and buy. Now they make wire shelves that fit in. Like they're just like little wire shelves.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So it's like you can cut your locker in half and have a top and a bottom part. And now they have like dry erase boards and all kinds of other things that you can put in there. It's quite a market.
Now, let me ask you a question. Answer honestly, because as you were talking about all these snacks and these other things, I was wondering if, because as a mom, you're so used to having the little ones infringe upon your space. I was wondering if somewhere in the back of your mind, you were like, snacks, not for me, but just in case.
No.
Like, I wonder if that was in your head or not. Or were you just thinking of Christy Meyer snacks?
I was just thinking of me.
Or were you thinking
if I had a locker, I would not share it. I definitely would not share it now. Like someone would be like, can I drop my book in your locker? I'd be like, no, I'm sorry, you cannot. You may not have my locker. This is my locker. This locker is my stuff. Don't touch it. You may not have the combination. You may decorate it on the outside, but you may not go inside my locker.
No one goes in. No one goes
Christy.
in. And is there comfort to the mess? Like, do you feel like there's a little bit of like, is there a reason you're not going to Marshall's and getting like an organizing system for those papers or a filing cabinet to go
That's
in
a
the
great
locker
question to
to
go
put
with
away
it.
those things?
Filing cabinet for the
Like, do you
locker.
like the mess? Do you like the mess? Does
I
it make
don't
you feel
like the mess, but I also don't. I feel like I feel like that for me, I'm not a super tidy person as it like there's a lot of like stuff and we're always really busy. And so I feel like in the house itself, there's always like a jacket thrown here, shoes over there, like somebody's book over here, or and I'll for me too, like post-its here and like pens there. And so I feel like I spend a lot of time cleaning up areas that other people are going to see. If it's my locker, I feel like I would
Mhm,
probably clean it
mhm,
out and make it like I like it, but
mhm.
I don't think I would like spend the time organizing it in the same way. I would just be happy to know that everything that I left in there would stay in there. Nobody would touch it.
Got it.
That sounds
Got
very
it.
possessive, doesn't it? I don't have a problem with
Well,
other people
no,
touching
no,
my
it
stuff.
doesn't.
I do. I
It
do. I
it
really do.
doesn't at all. It doesn't. I mean, I was hoping that it would
Yeah.
just be for you and that it wouldn't be for others.
Yeah.
But
Also, I kind of like the idea that like at the bottom of my locker might be something that when I'm going through it, like a year later, I find something like, I love this. That feeling.
I'm getting inspired to just buy a locker
I know. Let's
and
get a locker.
and just have it be like in a corner somewhere that's like just your locker for whatever. I feel like I have lots of boxes. I have lots of
Yeah.
shoe boxes and things like that, but it's not something I revisit with any regularity, you know? Um, like to peek in and check in on, or I mean, everything else is just sort of out in the open, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
But there are definitely things that are like keepsakes. And I wonder if that would be what the purpose of a locker today would be. Or is it more functional? Is it more, it sounds to me like yours is like things you want to remember for later,
Yeah.
like
And
inspirational quotes or like
yeah.
things you'll tackle when you have the time, that sort of thing, right?
Yeah. I think it reminds me when you were just saying that I was reminded of like people who have like kind of like a meditation space or like a
Mm,
like where
yeah.
they have like a little like cabinet or something and they put their little like, little statues or their little like books and their incense and their candles and things like that, and then they open it up and it feels like a very sacred space. I was also thinking that
Hmm.
if I had to say what my locker would be right now, it'd probably be my closet. My
Right.
closet is kind
Yeah.
of my
I
locker
guess.
at this point. You know what I mean?
Is your
But it's
closet a mess?
yeah, usually. But it's not a horrible mess. It's just like things like I said, like things piled, like, oh, I need to remember to read this book and
Pile.
I've got. But
Pile.
I think, it's mostly clothes and shoes is the closet, which so it's not a ton of like meaningful things. I think if my locker was like not functional and like that, then it would be kind of like the meditation space where you open it up, and that's lovely too. Like just to have
Mm-hmm.
something
Mm-hmm.
that you can kind of just open up and look through and just feel like kind of like connected and grounded, and that's lovely. Would that be your locker?
I think so. I'm thinking about, so when you were talking about what your lockers were like, and also I'm very curious if your lockers were fat or
Oh.
thin.
For high school, they were thin.
Mine were
and
thin and
tall.
long.
Yeah, thin and tall. For
Yeah.
middle school, they were half and thin and like thin, not fat, but like not as thin as our high
Okay.
school ones, but kind of like, those ones that are like half lockers and they've got a bunch like on the top, and some people were on the bottom, which is always terrible if you get the bottom
Yes.
locker.
Yes. I
'Cause then you're
had
getting
a
hit in
thing
the
that
head.
swung out too.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had ones that you could hit a latch and the top part would swing out.
Oh, right. Yeah. We didn't have those,
That's
but I
what
know
we
what those
had.
are. Yeah.
I was thinking about how, well, number one, I realized because my birthday is December 24th, my locker never got decorated. And I just remember how sad that was for me.
Sad.
It was very sad because I feel like I decorated many a locker
Yes.
throughout the years. And then I was like, not one of you wants to think about doing this like December 12th before we go on vacation? Like not one of you thinks that would be okay? Like, because I would, but then I wasn't going to say that either.
Of course.
So I was just feeling bad for young Lynn who never got her locker decorated.
You could have said that to me, Lynn.
Many tragedies of having that birth date.
Yeah.
But I feel like my locker was definitely like just such a practical place. Like after as I told you, after I learned about like the stickers not coming off, which I think I like learned in 7th grade. I think I was so like, oh, we'll never do that again. I think like it just became very practical. And then I think it was also like a sounding board to usually whoever I had a crush on, of like what my interests were. So like, let's say I was interested in someone who liked fish, which many of the people who I liked fish. So I would do a thing.
Wait,
like,
go back. You mean like to eat fish or like to go
No,
fishing?
the band.
Oh, fish.
The band Fish. Can you imagine if all my high school crushes, they love salmon. They just fucking love it. Fishamajigs, cod. Oh my god.
Is she posting pictures of fish dinners, or is
Yes.
Is it an actual fish that somebody caught?
Gordon's fisherman. No fish.
Like
PHI.
like fish. So it's like
omega-3 fatty acids. Shiny.
Well, you did
heads of hair.
He is a vegetarian. Maybe he ate fish at one point.
He actually does hate fish.
He hates them.
Both the band and the food. Abe dislikes both. In fact, last night we were watching a movie, and the woman in it was a Mongolian movie, and the woman in it ordered fried fish. And Abe like had a visceral reaction, like why would one choose to do that to impress the other person? Like that's an immediate turnoff. In fact, the movie was quite good. It's called The Sales Girl, if anyone's interested. Oh. But anyway, the fish stickers. I remember like because I wouldn't actually put them up. Like I wouldn't stick it to the sticker. Right. I would like take a piece of Scotch tape and tape it to the sticker.
Did they keep
and
falling
then put
off?
it on. But of course, yeah, they kept falling off, right?
Yes.
And then and I felt I could feel like there's two things. First of all, as I'm putting up the sticker, I do like fish, right? But I also know I'm putting it up just to be like, attention, all you fish loving people. I like fish, so we can have this conversation. Me too. Also, we can talk about this, right? So there's like this total poser thing, right? So I'm like putting it as I put it up, right? But then each time it falls is a reminder of just what a poser I am. And also like what a fucking stickler for the rules. Yeah, that's true.
We were
like,
all posers.
Yeah. But like that I cared that much,
right?
That like I like couldn't just take the fucking backing off and put it on. Like I had to keep it up. I also was thinking about how I didn't have a mirror, and I wonder if that might be because I didn't know. Did it exist back then? Did Marshalls and TJ Maxx and all those kinds of stores exist that had those kinds of things?
TJ
where
Maxx
like it's cool,
definitely existed because I had a friend whose mom took her to shop at TJ Maxx and and my mom did not take me to shop there, and I was always like, wow, her jeans are so cool. TJ Maxx.
Yeah, I wonder if like had I gone to those kinds of places, like the only things we had were grocery stores, the mall, where I can't think of a single place at the mall where you would just buy a magnetic mirror. And then we had Kmart, which
Kmart or Walmart.
As I got older, well, we didn't have Walmart and we didn't have Target by any means. Which had there been a Target, I think I would have like been prouder to go. But Kmart was sort of associated with like not great. You don't want to be seen with your parents at Kmart. If you locked eyes with someone else from your
Everyone's
school
like-
at Kmart, it was like, oh my God, run the other way. This never happened. We will never speak of this again. So I think maybe I could have used a mirror.
Yeah.
If I did have a mirror, it was probably from my mom's Clinique, freebie
the free,
for buying stuff. The free little folding mirror or whatever, but it definitely was not stuck up. Like my locker was very bare and minimal, and it really just held the practical things.
Yeah.
And I think for the most part, things lived in my backpack.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like
Mhm.
everything I needed was in my backpack, and that felt safer to me. It felt
Mm.
safer than just like leaving something. And as I was thinking about that today, like even my car, or I have like little pouches that I keep in my purse just in case of emergencies,
Mhm.
you know, I cannot tell you the last time one of those things was useful. But I'm so guilty of like constantly thinking about what might happen. Like I literally just bought yesterday some shout wipes. Just in case I'm somewhere and something spills, just in case, right? To replace the other shout wipes or the Tide pen that I had that dried out.
Yep.
Because I never used it once. Not once.
How'd you find out
And
it dried
had to
out?
get rid
Did
of
you need it, or did you just check it?
No, because I saw a freaking TikTok about the shout wipes. And then I was like, I don't need that. I have my Tide pen. And then I looked at the Tide pen and was like, yeah.
It's like Best Buy 2010.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, yeah-oh. So then I got rid of it. Because literally whenever I get something stained or whatever, I'm not going to get a shout wipe. I'm walking to the sink and taking care of it that way.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking like despite my blog, I'm trying to buy less. Like I'm trying to consume less. I'm trying to like take in less of things that are unnecessary. And so I think my locker today, although it would be very well organized, would probably still be practical.
Yeah.
And functional. And almost like the greatest hits.
Okay.
The greatest hits. And
Of
if I'm
what?
thinking
Greatest
about
hits
it,
of fish, or
of things I utilize.
if it was your locker, you could
Like-
stick the sticker
like-
right on though.
I'm thinking of like, it's not like stuff that just takes up space.
Yeah.
It's stuff that like actually gets utilized and
Mm.
is like loved. Like
Like what?
and like this is beyond like I take vitamins every day. I'm not keeping my vitamins in my locker.
Right. Too practical.
But yeah, exactly. Too practical. But the sheet masks that like I really love, they go in there. They go in there. The curling iron that I used for this, it goes in there.
Okay.
That's where she lives.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
Maybe the tarot card that was very significant for
I like
1
that.
week.
Yeah.
That goes in
That
there,
gets
you
stuck
know?
up with some Scotch tape, so you remember.
Yeah,
it.
exactly. That gets stuck with some Scotch tape. Like probably like the flyer from the Larchmont Family Fair, which was so lovely, like a few weeks ago. That might go in there too. So it's a combination of like, inspiration, things I want to like remember and think about, not too heavy, but also like things I really find practical and bring me joy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I think that some crystals. Some crystals.
Yeah, I did think about crystals after
Some
I
crystals.
talked about my stuff in there. I would definitely have some crystals in there, like the ones that are nice to like see and touch.
Yeah, like to really like think about, because I almost find that sometimes when I leave shit out, to remind myself, like a perfume or like something that I'm like, I want to leave this out so that I use it more. I almost don't, because then I get sick of it, or I just don't even. It's not special anymore or something.
Yeah.
So if I was to keep it in my special little box, my locker, then maybe like each time I opened it, maybe I think that would trick my head into being like, this is, Like I almost feel like there's things I forget about, and I
Yeah.
would like a place for all those things that I forget I own that I really like,
That you
but
really love.
are that I really love that I like don't want to forget.
Mhm.
Maybe I should keep a locker for those things, because I do think I forget about them otherwise, or then I leave them out and they lose their specialness.
You know, it's funny. It kind of reminds me of my son's a collector, and so my younger son, and so he has a tackle box. We got him a fishing tackle box because he has so many like special rocks and little like things that people have given him, and so he opens up his box and goes through them all and looks at them. And it reminds me when I was young, I had a sticker book. And it was like
Yeah,
I just
loved
was
it.
obsessed with stickers. And so it was just a book that I put the stickers in. You can't take them off the pages. Like they live there forever, this sticker book. But
Mhm.
it was all of my favorite stickers. And I would just open up the book and look through and really appreciate and enjoy my favorite stickers all the time. And it
Mhm.
kind of what you're saying reminds
Mhm.
me of that, of like a place where you can go in, see all your favorite things that either have great memories or just please you, and just spend some time loving them. You know what I mean?
I'm going to get a locker.
You are? Like an actual locker? Or are you
I
going to do
think
like
so.
a box or build
I
it?
think
Or?
I am. I
Okay.
think I am. I think I'm going to get it myself.
Okay.
A fucking locker.
And I'm going to get you a
And
fish
I don't know where
sticker
I'm
to
going to
put
put
on it.
it.
I'm going to get you a fish sticker. I
It'll
am.
live there
I'm
forever.
going to get it for you and put it, and they better go inside.
Oh my gosh. And you're going to come and decorate it.
I am. I'm going to come and
December
decorate it
24th. You're gonna
on
be
your
like,
birthday.
sorry, kids. I got to go decorate Lynn's locker.
I'm going to come in the middle of the night
I
on the
gotta-
23rd. Abe is going to let me in. I'm going to be like in your room, wherever your locker is, like army crawling my way over with the crepe paper and the signs
Oh my gosh.
and scotch taping your locker. So when you wake up in the morning, the locker's decorated. I'm into this idea.
I'm totally, Chrissy, I'm totally getting a locker. I'm going to keep skincare.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep skincare, crystals,
Great idea.
journals.
Yeah.
Journals are living there. Journals are freaking over there, right by like the same place where I keep like freaking bills.
Yeah.
I don't need that energy. I don't need that energy. Wow. I did not expect this to go where this was going to go today. But, okay, that brings us into our next subject.
Oh boy.
Because
okay, here we go.
much
Yeah.
like our topic just now that
Yeah.
I'm feeling great about, I'm feeling really pumped about.
Yeah.
I feel like this also happened whilst I was watching Wild Hearts Can't Be Broken
know.
in two parts. I will admit it. I've watched the first 20 minutes about a month ago because Chrissy and I kept trying to get together to actually watch in person.
Make it happen, which I
She
feel
kept
like would have
booking
been
work.
more enjoyable together.
Oh, I think for sure, because then it wouldn't have happened in two parts, at least for myself. I would have sat there through the entire thing. But what happened was Christy kept booking work, and we ended up like saying like, okay, I think we'd like to watch this before the next podcast. So let's just watch it separately and then we'll come together and discuss it on the podcast. So that afternoon, I was like, here we go. Watching Wild Hearts Can't Be Broken. And I'm like, 10 minutes into it, I am like writing notes like nobody's business because I just have so many thoughts going through my head, right?
Okay.
They're just like so many thoughts, right?
Yeah,
but then like 20 minutes go by and then I was just like, I know exactly where this movie's going. I know exactly where this movie's going. She is going to get on that horse. No, I didn't know that. And by the way, spoilers.
Yeah, sorry.
You
guys, we're going to spoil
Christy
the whole
just
thing
spoiled
right
it.
now.
Spoiling the whole thing.
The whole thing.
I did not see. So, literally did not see her going blind coming. But I saw the other stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And there was a piece of me that was just like, I gotta write a fucking script for Disney Launchpad. Like I can't be sitting around watching the things that are on Disney already. I got to make my own thing, and it's not going to involve a horse diving anything. I know that for sure. So I put it on pause, and I was like, if I feel called, I'm gonna revisit. But I was not feeling called, and in fact, I was just like, I was feeling not that I felt frustrated by it, but like I could understand why I never watched it growing up.
Tell me.
Because
why?
I almost felt like because I wasn't a horse girl.
Yeah.
You know, the stereotype of the horse girl?
Yeah.
Like I wasn't one of them. And I also never liked period films. Maybe this has to do with growing up at the opera. You know, maybe it's because it always feels, and there's something about this film in particular that really reminds me of like going to a Renaissance fair or like something where you're like going to theater and they're like, we are actors in costume, you know, like doing the thing. This is not real at all, but this is how it was. And we're doing it.
Right.
And so like, it was so theatrical for me that I think like even as a kid, I was just like, not for me. But I think that was like seeping into me. However, yesterday, as Christy and I were preparing for this, I told her I hadn't finished it. And she said, you didn't? She didn't say it. She texted, you didn't. And then I was like, that's it. The rest of the day is cleared. I am not letting Christy down. I'm going to watch the rest of this. And I sat down and I watched the remaining hour and 10 minutes or however long it was. And I was shocked. I was delightfully shocked at the direction it took. But then I was able to own it. I was able to be like, holy shit, this is a ridiculous concept.
Yes.
But not only that it's ridiculous, right? But that it actually is based on something real. Like this person is real.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then I found a lot of inspiration in that. But then I also was just like, I freaking love you, Disney. I freaking love you for like taking this story and then like this climax, you know, also after having written several scripts in that time between I wrote 2 shorts and like studying structure, I was just like hitting all the beats. We are hitting, this is her olive floss moment. Here we go. Like all of it was there, all of it. And I don't know, I just had so much admiration by the end of it. But may I share with you just a couple of my
notes? Yes.
Of my notes from the first 10 minutes?
Yes.
I wrote, wow, shot on film. And then I wrote, reminds me of Dirty Dancing with the narrator up top. And then I said,
should they be thrilled to hear that?
Fashion looks like Doen, or you know that brand Doen or whatever.
It totally does.
Like really,
I know what you're talking about.
Like really, really expensive shit today. And I said, haircut like Alexa Chung, like or Ethan Hawke's daughter, Maya Hawke. Like she looks hot.
Yeah.
She looks hot.
Yeah.
She looks very hot.
I know.
Right?
I know.
And then I said there needs to be an ad for young girls to ride diving horses, because the ad for it that she saw was amazing, I guess. Is that what I'm writing? Young girl needed to ride diving horses ad. Did she see an ad?
Yeah,
for that?
In the newspaper.
And is like,
in the newspaper.
Yeah, I was like, I guess I found that unbelievable and amazing. Then I think I paused, and this is when I started doing my little deep dive on the actress Gabrielle Anwar, who I also remember from Scent of a Woman, but most importantly, she also was on one episode of 90210 as a figure dancer.
Yes.
And I had no idea she was British. Did you know she was British?
I did know she was British because I became obsessed with her.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I have in bold type, I have hot dog bicycle wheel. Yeah, I was putting it on my phone as it was going. I was like, and then I wrote hot dog bicycle wheel. Okay. Do you remember what I'm talking about? There's a
where she first meets.
There's a kid.
Yeah. Yep. And
He's got
the fair.
Hot dogs.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got hot dogs put into each spoke of the wheel.
I just forgot his name.
And it's twisting around.
Yeah, and then he gets his hamburger.
Who knows?
And she spits.
We all knew they weren't going to end up. We knew he loved her, and we knew she wasn't going to give him the time of day. But she would, because she's a nice girl. But she wouldn't, because we know the structure.
Right.
But his, you know, he's the guy in real life who you'd probably marry because he's brilliant with that hot dog bicycle wheel, right?
Yeah.
I wrote, wow, he told her she needed breasts in order to be a diving girl.
Yep.
Then this is also where I paused and I looked up the director, Steve Miner, and I saw that he also did Soul Man, another gem of a movie from the 80s. Oh my God. You've never heard of fucking Soul Man?
Soul Man.
Holy
I don't know
shit. Soul Man. Oh my God. By saying gem of a movie, I'm being extremely sarcastic. This is me speaking very sarcastically. Even then, I knew it was not good. Soul Man is a movie starring C. Thomas Howell, where he thinks he'll get into an Ivy League college. I think it's Harvard, if he pretends he's Black.
Oh.
And he does blackface.
I know what you're talking about. Ooh.
Yeah. And he pretends. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I remember
I don't
that
even
movie.
know if I ever saw it. I think I just remember seeing the ad for it a lot on HBO and being like, ooh, I'm uncomfortable with this and I don't even know why.
Yeah.
So I was like, so as I was watching and thinking to myself, oh, I'm very uncomfortable with how young Gabrielle Anwar appears to be. And Michael Earl Shuffling, is that his name? Like, he's like, I think in real life, he's like 20 years older than her.
Mm-hmm.
And even though Gabrielle Anwar was over, I don't know, she was at least over 18 when they shot it, he's still much older than her. He also did a similar thing in Mermaids with Winona Ryder. But, you know, it was a different time.
Like that all the time. But I mean, also, it still happens
before he
today.
was like, see you later.
I mean, look at...
I know.
It's still...
I know.
Are we great? Like, it happens all the time. That's just Hollywood.
I know.
Like,
but she was so young. She was still in freaking school.
I know.
She was still in school.
I know.
All right. So I think
she could
this is where my notes stopped.
Young girl diving horses.
That's my point. Yeah. She's like, what? She's like.
I know.
Oh my God. So anyway, I also have to say that as I was watching this, I was thinking I could totally see why Christy loved this movie.
Oh,
also.
I'm
like,
interested.
There was a young, innocent part of me.
Yeah.
There was a young part of me that like was like now, I don't know if you grew up subjected to horses or not. Like, why I didn't grow up a horse girl, I have no idea why, because I have a feeling had I been in an environment where there were horses, maybe I would have been. Like, I definitely love that episode of Full House where DJ gets a horse. It was one of my favorites. In fact, I have it memorized in my head. She rides the horse to the Beatles' Good Day Sunshine, which is how I know the song Good Day Sunshine. I don't know it from the Beatles. I know it from Full House, okay? So obviously, I love horses also, but I don't love horses because I never freaking related to this movie enough to like become obsessed with it.
Yeah.
And I think part of that was like, maybe that was like a self-protection thing of like, I don't want to love horses because I know from DJ Tanner how expensive it is to keep a horse. And if I get into horses, then I'm freaking screwed because the person who loves horses, the horse girl, is always misunderstood.
Yeah.
Her locker is never decorated, right?
Never.
She's never the cool kid ever.
No,
she's
never.
always, and so she bonds with the horse. And I think maybe I was trying to protect myself of being like, don't fall in love with this fucking expensive friend. You'll never be able to. You'll never be able to keep up with this. Yeah, like you'll never be able to do this ever. Like maybe that was part of it. But I could definitely
like a very
see why. I mean, first of all,
jump for you.
I mean, I'm talking to my inner child, my subconscious here.
Yeah.
But also like the fashion is great. It's great.
Yes, the fashion
and the haircut is hot.
Yeah, I know.
Like the haircut is great. And I think even us as children also knew that even though they were like making fun of it, we all knew it looked good.
Yeah.
Like, and so like there was like an owning of like, oh, I like what's not considered cool or whatever. And then that felt like a little bit like, I can trust my own instincts. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Totally. You know?
Yeah.
And she looks ridiculous when she puts on all that makeup. She doesn't need that. She's natural. She's beautiful, just as she is.
Yeah.
And I can see that like resonating with young Christy Myers. I want to know. I also felt like, this is the other thing. I totally felt like so for me, like watching kids in movies growing up, it was always like, could I play that part? And I definitely felt like this is a part that I would know, like, no, no, because I ain't diving down into water with a horse. That's not happening, right? Not happening. So like off the table for me, the same way when I go see like an action movie, I don't get any sort of like jealousy because I'm like, never, no. Would never want that. You go for it. Go get your Oscar. Go whatever. That's fine. Have fun. Have at it. I'm not jealous at all. So I almost feel like, but I could see you freaking getting on that horse and diving right off and being in your little bathing suit and like and chopping off your hair and like doing all of it. I could see like young you like totally owning it and eating it up and like doing it well. I could totally see you in this part, and maybe that also was for you part of why you loved it, because you could actually see yourself in it. Am I wrong?
Yeah, maybe so. It's funny. So when I watched it, it's the first time I watched it I mean, at least 20 years, at least 20 years. I
Yeah.
did have it on VHS.
Yeah.
So I feel like I watched it I must have watched it when I was a teenager, maybe in my early 20s, after, after I'd originally seen it. When did it come out? I was just trying to remember, what year did it come out?
I feel like 1991, maybe. Let me look it up.
Okay. Yeah. That would make sense.
Wild Hearts.
So that would have been middle school.
1991.
Yeah.
1991.
So it's the first time I've seen it since then. And there were definitely, I saw it with a completely different lens, what you're talking about. Like, I was like, man, her aunt is so mean to her. Like, so mean.
So mean.
And she's doing perfectly reasonable things that a teenager would do. Cut her own hair. Like, what do you care? Why? Like, who cares? She's the one that has to deal with it. And you're making such a big deal out of it. And then the teacher was totally being rude because that other girl, I would have like punched her too. She was being horrible. And the teacher must know that. The teacher must know that other girl was not awesome. Right. So she got suspended. So yeah, it's all, and then her aunt kicked her out. Like, we're going to turn you over. So I saw it with a whole nother view, in that way. But, I felt like it's all, of course, I went into my psychological, like, why do I like this movie? I like period pieces. I do. That's the first thing. I definitely like period pieces. I definitely, like I like biographies. I like things that people did. Like, I like to see other people's lives. I think that's part of what I like about being an actor, is like getting to kind of like try on other people's lives and see the things that they have accomplished. And when I look back at my favorite things, my favorite shows, my favorite movies from when I was young, they all had orphans in them. I don't know what that's about. All of you therapists out there can have a field day with that. But
you're right. Annie
was my favorite. Yeah. Anne of Green Gables was my other one, also an orphan. This one, they are all orphans and very strong personalities.
Oliver.
Did
you like Oliver?
I did like Oliver. I liked these kind of like characters of these young girls who were, who kind of were difficult personalities, but that's what made them special, or that's what made them, and that ultimately, because of that, they ended up persevering, you know what I mean? Like, and I liked this idea of, I was really into this idea of like kind of like your destiny being like out there and like, a larger than life kind of thing. That seems to be a big theme from my childhood movie watching experience. I don't know though if I think internally I felt like I related to her in this movie internally, like that feeling of like kind of rebelliousness, that feeling of wanting to feel like self-possessed. Do you know what I mean? And a little bit of an outsider. But I think externally, I did not embody that. So I think maybe like I liked to think that I was like them, like these characters, like Annie, like Anne of Green Gables, like Sonora in this movie. I think possibly. I did like horses. But I did not have them. I had friends who had them, and they were like, the
Wow.
most kind of like strong, kind of sassy, kind of like, girls, like kind of like do anything, kind of
Yeah.
like get kicked off a horse and get right back on and start riding. Like I got kicked off a horse once and I laid on the ground. I was like, that hurt. So I think I liked the idea that maybe I would be one of those people that was like, no problem, I can do this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know.
Did you
kinda...
have a crush on Michael Earl Shuffling?
Oh yeah. Totally. And I totally wanted to be her. Like the hair, like in my mind, if I cut my hair, it would look like that. Totally. And
Mm-hmm.
her little, like her pants with the tucked in like V-neck shirt and her little hat. I was like, oh yeah, I want to wear that for sure.
Fashion is amazing
Yeah.
in this.
Yeah.
I have to say.
But but now watching it as an adult, I definitely like see the I see the problems with it, and it feels very. It obviously feels very as the movies that you like. I think some of the movies that you like when you're a kid do. It feels very simplistic. It feels very like
It's extremely simplistic,
Yeah.
but there's something so satisfying about that.
She had this really horrible thing happen to her that could have broken her, but she still got to do what she loved after. She just figured out a way and did it. I like that. I like
Mhm.
that kind of human
Mhm.
spirit. I guess that's maybe what I like about these kinds of movies. I like watching the human spirit, how even when it's kind of like beat down, that it can rise out like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
That makes
I
me
have to
happy.
say that part of what I loved about this movie was because once I gave in and accepted that it was a Disney movie from the early 90s, I was able to give in to what that means. Because you remember back in the day, as The Little Mermaid and everything was like starting to like bring up Disney again,
Mm-hmm.
like into the Disney it is of today.
Yeah.
There was it was almost like a verb.
Yeah.
Like Disney, it's so Disney, or
Yeah.
adjective, I should say. Always a happy ending, like literally blind women or blind girl attaching herself to a horse and doing a perfect dive.
And
Like
she got
we're not going to think about and then doing it forever, forevermore.
Forever. And I also like two
Forever
things.
and
I
ever.
like that she learned to do it on a stormy night, just standing there, putting her hands over the horse back and forth. Like I was like, I get it. I get it. This is their time together. And then after she does this incredible thing, the end is like, and I did this for 11 more years and we lived happily ever after. Like kind of that the whole rest of everything was summed up. Like, and I didn't really need to know any more about her, but as an older person, I was like,
Yeah.
I did kind of want to know. At the time, I was like,
Well,
yeah, she lived happily ever after. That's what happened.
I'm not positive I would go and read her autobiography.
Right.
But there's something I think that was like really, it's like a time capsule of a time.
Yeah.
Where they were like, these are the kinds of movies I think young girls will like.
Right.
And there's something so I don't know, like I think that's funny. Like like that a bunch of like that Steve Miner and his other dudes
they decided
sat around and were like, what do young girls like? And like there's a piece of me, of course, if I was of another generation, probably would be like kind of pissed. But I think because we were the girls that they were marketing towards, maybe there's like a little bit of like, what's that thing that happens when you're imprisoned by someone and you like them, you fall in love with them?
What is that called? What's that called? Where it's that, yes, I know what you mean, where you fall in love with your captor.
Like something syndrome. Yeah, like, you know what I mean. I think it's that. I think that's what's happening to me, is that I'm like fucking sexist, patriarchal bullshit. Like, but then I'm like, I love it, because that's what I grew up on. Like, I don't know. I'm sorry. I feel like a deep like satisfaction, but there's also the satisfaction because it's over there. It's over there. If it was to infringe upon anything today, if they were to remake Wild Hearts Can't Be Broken, and it was like this, I would be quite upset. I would be quite upset.
Yes.
But yeah, it's because it's that it's in its own locker,
Mhm.
buried over there, that I think I was like able to be like, all right, I'm actually very much into this. And actually, I would be shocked. There's always a moment when I watch something that's dated like that,
Mhm.
and it's almost like too modern, that I'm almost
Right.
like there's a I get like taken out of it a little bit. Like
Right.
what happened to the Matrix? Like something is wrong,
There's a
that
glitch.
they knew it. There's a glitch. Exactly. Like I don't understand. I don't understand how that could have been acknowledged, and still we're living in the world we live in.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess I sort of like accept it for what it is.
Yeah.
But like most things that happened in the late 80s, early 90s, I want it to stay tucked away exactly where it was. Um,
Absolutely. And I think about this too in terms of like my mom, as she's gotten older, has been watching a lot of uh the movie channel, the what is it? Turner Classic Movies, right? Do you know
yeah,
that one? Turner
yeah,
TCM.
TCM.
And
Yeah,
so there's a lot of movies from all the different eras, but mostly back from what she remembers when she was younger. And some of them when I watch, I have to turn it off when we're there with the kids because I'm like, I don't want them to see a man yelling at a woman that
totally.
way or hitting a woman or blah blah blah. And I've had the conversation with my mom like, how can you watch that? Like that's really, and she's like, but it's like it's just that movie, it's just that time period. And I think, oh, well, I could never do that. But then when I look at these 80s movies, these ones that are, as we're talking about, we look at them now and we're like, oh, I don't think that's really cool anymore. And I don't like, but they still hold that piece for us. Then I understand then why she continues to watch those. You know,
Yeah,
the movies that I have judgment on, but because I don't have any nostalgic feeling for them, I only see them through the
exactly.
lens of now. And I think my kids would watch something like Wild Hearts Can't Be Broken. They first of all wouldn't watch it, but if they did, they would be like, "Why is her like father dating her? Like, why is, you know, I mean, like that?" They would be very confused by a lot of it and not have the nostalgic
Yeah,
feeling
it
that
felt
I have.
extremely uncomfortable
Yes, it
for
did.
me
Yes.
when he
When he
kissed her for
kissed her in
that
the
first time.
lake.
I was like,
Yeah.
please stop.
I
Yeah,
was
I was like,
like,
oh, don't do that.
not cool.
Don't do that.
I was like applauding when he
Yeah,
left. I was like, yeah, go
exactly.
get some perspective. Like, but I'm not sure how long he was gone. So I don't know.
Even though he looks pretty much identical as he did when he was Jake Ryan,
Right. Yeah, he
like
does.
doing the same thing with Molly
That's
Ringwald,
right.
also 16.
Also enjoyed him in that too. I mean, I just
Yeah.
enjoy him and I'm okay with it then. So, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever happened to him?
I believe he became a woodworker of
Oh,
some sort.
well,
He retired a long time ago.
that makes sense.
And everyone wants to know, and he doesn't want to be found. And you know what? I think that's pretty great.
Yeah, that's great. Good for him. I feel like he'd
I
be
think
a
that's
good
really great.
woodworker. I'm sure he's great.
So let's move on to the potluck.
I get to start and I have, I think, a good one. Now, here's the thing. I couldn't bring it to show you because it's big. So I just have to tell you about it and then you have to look it up. So it is
Okay.
called, oh God, I forgot what it's called. It's called a chili cube. Sleep me.
Chili.
Chili sleep.
Chili like
it's called
the
chili
food?
sleep. Yeah, it's spelled like chili, like the food. It's like www.sleep.me. And they are this, what I have is their older version. What you're going to see on here is like their newer version, but it's called the Chili Pad like cube bed cooling system. Now they have a brand new one that looks
Okay, I'm
just
here.
super
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
You see it? So
Okay.
I have an even
Never
older
sleep
version of
hot
this.
again.
Never sleep hot again. So I have an older version of this. Neither of these are both the newer versions. But okay, let me explain. So I have always been somebody who was cold at night. I sleep with a bunch of covers. I'm like the colder, like I'm just always cold, right? Um,
Yeah.
but in the last, I would say like 4 years, I've started to wake up in the middle of the night hot. And like hot on my back, like where my back meets the mattress. And at first I was like, oh, it's got to be this mattress, right? But then I would sometimes sleep in my kids' beds and they have different mattresses and it would still happen. So now I think it's
Mhm.
probably just the loveliness of hormones changing as we get older. And so now I
Mhm.
was going, like for almost a year, I would wake up during the night. And then once I was awake, I couldn't get cool and I couldn't like fall back asleep. And so I was getting more and more sleep deprived. And I had known about this. Somebody I had seen, somebody post about this, I think, somewhere. And, but it's expensive. And I was like, but I
Mhm.
finally bought it for myself when they had like a 4th of July sale one year. And I've had it for, I guess, 2 or 3 years at this point. It is the most awesome thing if you get hot at night. It is a pad that you lay on top of
Uh-huh.
the bed, and it has like elastic straps that go underneath the bed so it kind of stays in place. And I just have the half. Like I don't have it for Jeff's side of the bed. I only have it for my
Oh,
side of the
great,
bed.
because I was just gonna say I don't get hot, but Abe does.
Yeah. So you can get it for just one side,
Okay.
right? Because Jeff
Great.
doesn't. And it is, then it has this cord, like this tube that connects it to this dock. And inside the dock, you pour water and you have to use distilled water. We have hard water, so I have to use distilled water so it doesn't like ruin the inside of it. And it's like a tank that it holds it. And then you turn it on and you set it to a temperature and it feeds it through the tube. But here's the thing.
It's
It's
like AC.
like kind of like AC, but it's water. So it's like it fills into little tubes on the pad and it cools the
Oh,
pad with this cold
yeah.
water that's coming in from the system, right? So kind of like flows in
Yeah.
through that tube. But the greatest thing about it is that it's controlled by an app, like a Bluetooth app. So you can set a
Hmm.
schedule. So at night when I get into bed, it's warm, right? And
You can
then
make it warm?
you can make it warm. You can do hot or cold or anywhere in
Oh.
between. Like you can go from like
I might
105
get a
down to like
ooh.
50, right?
I wonder if my half could be hot and Abe's could be
Yeah.
cold.
Well, you have to get 2 different ones. So it has to be controlled by 2 different
Oh,
docks.
okay.
So
Okay.
and those are but you can, yes. And you would control yours
How
and he would
big are
control
these
his.
docks?
So mine is bigger than the ones on the site because it's an older version, but it's like I would say it's
Okay,
about
got it.
like the size of like, the really tiny toaster ovens? Mine's about the size of a
Oh, I
tiny
see.
toaster oven.
Okay, there's the cube,
Yeah.
there's the state of the art.
Yeah. So
Okay.
this one is like, so the ones that are on there right now, mine's a little bit bigger than the Chili Pad Dock Pro.
Ooh, 574 for half a queen.
I know.
Damn.
I know. I know. But I'm
Oh,
telling
but
you,
you love it. But
I
you love it.
love it. So at night,
But you love
when I
it.
get into bed, I have it hot so that it's like toasty warm when I snuggle under the covers. And
Yeah.
then I let it be toasty warm for
Yes.
like 20 minutes. And then at 20, I set this whole schedule on my phone. So, and I can change it. But like 20 minutes after I fall asleep, I set it to start to cool down and then it stays cool. And then right at the time that I always wake up at like 2 or 3 a.m. and I'm hot, I set it for a couple degrees lower so it gets a little bit cooler
Uh-huh.
then. And then
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
set it in the morning to warm up when I wake up so that the bed warms up so I naturally wake up. I don't have to use my alarm. I just set it so that I'm like, why am I hot? Oh, it's time to wake up. It is the best thing ever. And whenever I travel, I'm sad. Like I literally do
Oh,
not,
yeah.
I look forward to
Yeah.
not, like this, when we're traveling this summer, I am not looking forward to it because I know I won't sleep the way that I do at home because I don't have, this thing's obviously too big to take with us. I can't like throw it in my suitcase.
Is it
or anything.
comfortable?
Yeah, it just feels like
Because
it
it's
feels like,
not, it feels like a regular mattress?
yeah, it feels like a mattress pad. On one side, it's like a
Okay.
mesh. That's the cooler side. I don't use that. On the other side, it's like a mattress, like kind of like a mattress cover. I use that side, which is a little bit softer. But if you really sleep hot, you would use the mesh side. And then I put my sheet over the
Okay.
top of it.
Ooh, a 30-night sleep trial.
Yeah.
1 year limited warranty.
I love it. I
I
will say
mean,
it's incredibly
You love
annoying to
it.
clean.
I'm looking at the size of it. Oh,
But
frickin' A. I hate
I think
having to
that
clean stuff.
I think that they fix that. What mine's annoying because there's no real way to get in and wipe it down. Like you have to drain it and then kind of let it dry. But the new
Uh-huh.
ones I think are a tank where it's a big screw so you can like clean and dry the tank. I just was like, well, I already have this one.
Okay.
I'm not going to spend a bunch more money to get a new one. I'll just deal with this one. But then you can just clean it
Yeah.
with like vinegar and water. You can clean it with, they sell like a solution you can do. There's a bunch of people online who will teach you how to clean it. But it's amazing. And the cleaning of the pad.
When you have half of one, does your your bed look like
No, 'cause it's
discombobulated? Does it
really
look like one
thin.
side is
It's
higher
like
than the other?
super thin.
Okay. Okay.
It's smaller than a mattress pad, so it doesn't feel any
It doesn't
different.
sound crinkly or anything
No,
like you're
no,
sleeping on diapers or
no,
something.
not at all.
Okay. Wow.
It's the
Wow, you're
best.
really selling
I
me
know.
on this.
I know.
You're selling me on this because Abe, okay, here's the thing.
Mhm,
Abe has been waking up in the middle of the night because
mhm,
he gets hot and I don't like having the windows open.
mhm.
And he goes into the living room and I think it's because he wants to snuggle with Miles, our dog. So he like leaves in the middle of the night and goes and sleeps on the couch so he can open the window and snuggle with Miles. So part of me is wondering if I'm going to spend $574 on something and he's still going to go and sleep on the couch. Like, what's the point? But, if I have 30 days, I might be able to get my husband back in bed with me,
Yeah.
and perhaps help me out when I have the premenopausal symptoms. But I am always really cold,
Yeah.
always super duper cold in the winter, and I never want to get in bed. And in fact, I do have like a heating pad that I put in the microwave,
You do.
like that that I like sometimes will like carry with me to like get myself actually in bed. And this sounds great.
It's awesome.
I wonder if I share this with them, if they'll give us a discount code for future
That would be
people. Stay
awesome.
tuned for that.
Stay tuned.
Stay
I
tuned
feel
for
like,
that.
listen, if you either sleep too cold or too hot, it's awesome because it's just like now I just sleep through the night and I'm like so happy. And I
Yeah.
think how much my
I'm happy for you.
thank you. I was so worth the money. It's literally the thing that if it broke tomorrow, I would buy another one. Like on sale or not, I would just buy it because it's worth it.
I could see feeling that way about certain things in my life as well.
Mhm.
And it's weird to like be so attached to devices,
I know.
but it's either that or a horse.
It's a lot less expensive than a horse. So and you can still like have your locker decorated if you have one of these. No one has to know.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, what's your potluck?
That was great. My potluck is actually, I wrote this down as something I had wanted to share with you in the podcast after I finished reading it, which was probably shortly after we recorded the last one 3 months ago. So I don't really remember the book. It's a book,
Okay.
but I did write some notes. It's Kerry Washington's book, Thicker Than Water. Have you read it?
I have not read it.
It's a memoir.
Is it good?
And I bring this
Obviously.
up. Well, yes, I loved it. I bring this up obviously with Christy for those who don't know. We had mentioned before that we met in a theater company, and Kerry was a member of this theater company. Now, I actually was not in the theater company with her at the time, but I think you might have crossed paths with her, right?
Yeah, I was with her like half a year, something like that. We overlapped. So I came in and she was there for probably like 6 more months or something before she left.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, she and I was in a movie with her called Lakeview Terrace, and she and I did talk about Night Star, which was it's funny because she only calls it Star Theater in the book, and which it was like, I guess during that time that was what it was called, Star Theater.
When I came in, it was called Star.
But
they changed it to Night Star while I was there. So when I was there, it was just called Star.
Okay.
Yeah.
You were the bridge between
I was
my version and Carrie's version.
Yeah.
And she and we did the Kira monologue about finding out you have HIV, which was what the theater company was. Yeah, everyone knows the Kira monologue.
Everyone
so anyway, I found the book not only to be so obviously well written and narrated, because she narrates it, but I was really I really got a lot out of her stories of being an actor, obviously. Her deep love of Disney in a similar way that I have a deep love for Disney and appreciation for Disney. She also spoke about binge eating, which was like a big struggle for me whilst I was at Night Star.
Yeah.
So that was like extra like, whoa, for me to like hear someone else who I felt was from a similar background and world also struggling with very similar eating problems.
Yeah.
Her mother, so I will say that the main part of the story and I don't think this is a spoiler because she's talked about it before, is that basically she finds out about that her mother had been lying to her about her birth story, which I don't want to go into that in case you don't know what it is, but this concept of a mother who lies is something I can relate to as well.
Yeah.
And I found like her perspective on things to be very helpful. Like it was nice for me to read because I just feel like we come from such similar worlds and we have a lot in common. And obviously her path is very different than mine looks like, but at the same time, like it just felt like almost like a like permission to have the kinds of thoughts that I sometimes have. Because she's so eloquent and has like obviously like when you write it out and it's edited and everything, like there's a thoughtfulness that, and this brings us back to what we were talking about at the very beginning of like when you're like thinking about your life and reanalyzing like those big moments of what you want to share and what you don't want to share. And it felt really validating to read her book. I found it very like a soothing salve balm for my wounded little soul. Even though it was about such intense things, it's not a happy book, you know. And yet I found so much nourishment from reading it.
I wonder if she narrates it herself on Audible. I now listen.
I bet she does because the version I read or listened to was from the library. And yeah, it was great.
Wonder if I can, maybe I'll check it out.
So highly recommend Kerry Washington's book. Thicker Than Water.
Thicker Than Water. I'm gonna look that up. That'll be a good travel thing for me this summer. Maybe. I don't know. I'm going to see my mom. Maybe I should wait and do it after.
I don't think it'll make anyone's relationship with their mother worse. If anything, like it was inspiring to like hear like her capacity for forgiveness. Was really like, wow, like that's another way to look and think about this.
I do love that.
Was good for me. Yeah. So
okay, great.
Yeah, that's our podcast for June. And get some lockers. We're all going to get some lockers. Where can people? You had said that before you were going to be doing a little more food related stuff, your food stuff again. So your food programs, like how can people find that?
So my website is www.howtochow.com, and I'm revamping it this summer to include some new programs and some new things that I'm excited about. So I'll let you know more in September when that's all done, but you can go and check it out now. The website's up, but it'll have kind of the newer stuff as the summer goes on. So www.howtochow.com. I would say go to Instagram, but I'm terrible at that. I'll try.
She doesn't even share she's on Station 19.
I didn't even post a picture. Somebody else sent me a picture of what was posted, and I was like, oh, that was so nice of someone to post. That's nice.
Well, we'll see you in the fall. You can subscribe to us at genxtaste@substack.com. Follow us on social media at Ms. Lynn Chen and Christy occasionally at Christy Myers LA. Of course, howtochow.com. And we will see you then. Thanks for listening.
We'll see you in September.
Okay, bye.
Bye.